Welcome to Think Big with Dan and Qasim. Join hosts Dan Melnick and Qasim Masood as they explore big ideas, limitless possibilities, and engage with visionaries, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders who dare to dream big, get inspired, motivated, and find practical tips for personal growth. Think big, dream bigger, and ignite your potential.
Welcome to Think Big with Dan and Qasim. Our guest today is Kevin. So Kevin, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, tell us where you live and what you do.
I'm Kevin. I'm living in Cyprus. Actually, grew up completely in Germany, and I think 5 or 6 years now already living in Cyprus. And I'm doing email marketing for DTC brands. So for online shops out there, not for coaches, just for brands that selling products, physical products.
So I'm just curious about your background. So in terms of how did you kind of get into this space? Did you have your own e-commerce brand? What made you want to start?
That's a good point. Where should I start? I think I'm the typical entrepreneur, always did business. Actually, I've never worked for anybody since I was 7 or 18 years old. And actually with emails, it was I wasn't happy with my old business. I had a social media marketing agency. I wasn't actually very happy with it, maybe also because of my ADHD. Sometimes it's a problem, sometimes it's a benefit. And I was looking on X a little bit, what I can do. And then I thought about, what is actually the easiest thing you can do? And I found something about copywriting. And more basic it can't be, really just plain text. It was actually on Christmas. I was there alone completely. I'm okay, sure, why not? Give it a chance. And was starting it. You also can see that the social media is there a little bit different. On X, Instagram, you see a huge difference. After 1 week, I'm okay, so what is my offer for who I wanted to do it? For coaches, for all that stuff. And then I saw just an ad. I think it was an ad from somebody. I think from a big guy in our niche, one of the biggest. And he was telling, did you know that you can make with emails 50%, up to 50% from online shop? And I'm okay, damn. I thought myself you can do 5 or 10% with an online shop. And that's what I also knew from my friends. 90% of all my friends have online shops. I did it myself, but for me it was too much constructions. Can I say construction? Yeah, too much problems. And so that's the point. Okay, I didn't knew it. My friends, they're doing 500K or $1 million a month. They didn't even knew you can do emails so good. And they're okay, damn, it's an opportunity. And since then I was doing it, and
So in terms of your, I guess currently, right? Because you said that you're from Germany, you live in Cyprus. Where do most of your clients currently reside? Are you working with folks here in the States where I live or in Europe? What does that breakdown kind of look like?
Yeah, that's a funny thing. Actually, I don't like to have clients from Germany, but I have because I really want to avoid this country at all costs. That's the reason I left. But actually, worldwide, I have clients in Australia, I have clients in the UK, I have clients in the US, I have clients completely Europe, everywhere. Literally everywhere. That's also an ADHD thing. I don't want to focus on one thing. I think I would get bored too fast. And just putting out my content, and whoever writes me, if the criteria I have fits, then I work with them.
Most of your clients English speaking, or do you also do emails in German? What does that look like?
Yes, I have clients also in German. My first ever client was Italian. I had no clue. I can't even talk one word in Italy. I don't know if pizza or spaghetti is it's English, is Italian. But it was actually my first client. And he told me, after the sales call, by the way, the page is in Italian. Do you have a problem with that? I said, no. And I think 2 hours later, I hired somebody on Upwork who was just translating it. And I was just looking for somebody who was native. People translate, we all can do. I looked for somebody native, found a woman, and I paid her per email, I think €4. No brainer.
It's awesome. Yeah, I like how you kind of think outside the box and, kind of taking advantage of those opportunities. And I guess right now, right, because you work with a lot of brand owners, what are some of the biggest, misconceptions or mistakes that people are making when it comes to an email?
I still would say that most people don't believe in the power of email marketing. I think the only 2 channels you need to have to grow a brand to really 8 or even 9 figures is Facebook and emails. That's it. Facebook is growing the cost and everything. The thing is with email, you just reduce the cost. And as I said, I have not one client who is doing under 35%. With that being said, I need also to say I have dropshipping clients. That's actually not the best clients you can have, because for a dropshipper, it's impossible to get 50%. You don't have a brand. How can a customer come back? Email is also retention. That people come back and you like a brand, and most dropshippers, they think they are a brand, but they are not. If you have one product, what should I send the email? I can send different emails and can go with 100 angles. Believe me, I can make 6 months different emails. But at one point still, they're also customer, they will get annoyed from this. So yeah, I think it's still the misconception is that people don't believe in it. And then like, obvious, if you charge them like a retainer 3, 4, 5K, oh, that's a lot of money. So no, you make just less money. That's it. I mean, I have clients, I send out campaigns, I make them 50K every campaign. Then what should I say? Oh, I only get 3K from that. I make you every email 50K. I send 3 out a week. It's 45K. I make you a month 200K. I only get 3K. I also don't complain. I mean, if you're 100 or 200K, just focus on ads. And then later on, you can focus on optimization. Then all this have more impact. And then also a setup for 3, 4K is okay. I mean, I told you, even if you do it yourself, you can get like 10, 20% with some YouTube videos. It's a lot of money. If you're doing 200K, 20% is 40K extra. I think they don't believe in it.
And I guess in terms of like the breakdown, right? Because many people are doing email, SMS, WhatsApp. Do you kind of focus on those things, SMS and WhatsApp, or really just only?
No, also, I was also working good and we're doing for our clients postcards. There's a lot of things you can do. I mean, to email marketing is more like retention. And marketing, you also can do like the cards and the order you send. I mean, it all depends. I mean, if you're a dropshipper, hard to do. I mean, you could do it, but if you have a real brand, you can put like these cards in the packages and stuff like this, or voucher for the next thing. There's a lot of thing you can do. And actually, I wanted to try also WhatsApp marketing. I see some very, very big brands that doing it and also crushing it. I mean, open rate is high. It also depends where you are. That's the thing. I think if you're in the US or in Europe, people are way different from the mindset, how they think. And you need to find it out.
So yeah, if you can talk about what is that difference though between if people are selling across different parts of the world, like consumers in Europe versus American consumers?
I would say the consumer in US, what we would say, they like it more scammy. I mean, if you have like the product page and like 5 minutes left and there's a flame and 10 people just bought and if we see this in Europe, we would never ever buy. Never ever. If somebody pushes us to buy, that's a scam. That's how we think it. I mean, also, all these, how is it called? These funnel pages there's the one big brand. How is it called?
Go High Level.
Go High Level. Go High Level. There's the other one, ClickFunnels. Yeah. And these pages, they are like, no German ever would buy there. I mean, if you think out of the box or if you're different, for sure we buy there. But a German see this page, they're like, no.
Yeah, Germans are much more
I would say
objective, you could say.
Yeah. The thing is, it's, in my opinion, easier to sell to a German. Still, it's easier and it's harder in the US market because in the US, more people are doing it. It's more saturated, the market. But from the point of view, it's like, we just think different. And the market is smaller. There's not so much competition. And also if you're going to France or the UK, there's always these small things you need to try. If it's a woman, if you, for example, mystery discount, it's the first thing I do. Pop up always mystery discount. It's a woman, nearly double or 4 times 5x the sign up rate for women because it's mystery. I want it.
Yeah, so I guess like in Germany, for example, like how would like what would the email look like as opposed to like in the US? Like in the US, you were saying it's much more kind of time sensitive, things like that. So how do you kind of send out the email to make it more appealing to like a German customer?
Yeah, the funny thing is actually, I think it's for all businesses. That's the funny thing. We always offer to our clients, we need to do this. But let's be honest, for every business, the less you do, the better it is. It's also for website and all that stuff. And the same for the email. I think it always depends. I mean, if you have a real brand, you have something unique. I mean, I have face tattoos. That's me. That's just me. And there are some brands. I can tell you which brand it is, but we send out things that is like, it's hard on the limit, but the people, they love it. They send things out that's like over the limit. Sometimes even they play with religion, but they wanted to do it. They play with some limits the non-brand would never do, but that's what people are used to. And they're like, okay, we love it. And then you make like bad jokes. Like, for example, get to card email. I think you used all your money for weed.
That's funny.
So, I mean, that's Germany. That's Germany, but it works perfect. And that's the thing. We have just 2 or 3 lines and it works. I mean, that's what also German loves. We love honesty. And I think an American like this around, like, put me in there. You can lie a little bit to me. It's okay. I know you trick me, And Germany is more like a little bit more straightforward in the face. We don't like blah, blah. And that's my experience, I think. And other countries, some countries like more this blah, blah a little bit.
Yeah. And then I guess in terms of like, obviously within e-com, there's lots of niches. So what are some of the niches that you've been working with? And I guess, where are you seeing like the most traction among certain niches?
Actually, every niche, there's for me nothing that is like, okay, this is easier, this is better. Literally worked. It was beauty niche, pet niche, lifestyle niche, health niche, fashion niche. And what I can tell you, fashion clients are very perfectionistic. Very perfectionistic. When they have their own brand, you make an email, they send you 500 changes back. If you have other brands, they send you one change back. So maybe for the client side or for agency business side, that's a little bit different. But actually, it doesn't matter. I push every brand to the same, what I do for all brands. There's like an average. I think it's more actually specific to some brands. When they really just think about money, then that's the point. You're not a brand. Just because you have a logo or color, it doesn't mean you have a brand. So being a brand is like really you take care about your customer, and it's starting with customer support and all that stuff. And the people will feel that. If you believe it or not, the people will feel it, and that you will see in the metrics.
Yeah. So I guess in terms of like for example, certain products like supplements, things like that. What I see sometimes is people might see the ad or the email, then they go to a platform like Amazon, for example, to go and buy the product. So how do you kind of measure that attribution? Because sometimes there are certain things that are out of your control. Do you kind of look at the overall growth and sales of the actual business, or what are you kind of looking at from that perspective? Sometimes there are sales that, like, obviously you can, correlate from Klaviyo, right? Someone's clicking from that link, but oftentimes, what I've seen is people might go to Amazon, or they might like not click and buy from that link. They might come back and buy. So are you looking at overall growth as well, or just like looking at the metrics? Because like obviously you're helping like the on business grow overall. It's not just from the Klaviyo links. If that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. First of all, you have like the attribution window for the emails. It depends on how big is the brand or not how big is the brand, how expensive is the product. I mean, if a product is 500 euros, most people don't make the decision in a minute, so they take a time. And you can maybe take it a little bit longer. I mean, if you all send all 2 days campaigns, your attribution window also shouldn't be 5 days, because then maybe it counts double, something like this. So that's the first thing. Actually, look, I'm a person, I just focus on things I really can track or also change. I mean, some things I can't change. When I drive my car, I can check and control my car. Other people do, I can't control it. So my goal is always to make the number greens and push it as high as possible. I mean, if you're even at one point doing 60%, and maybe something is off with the ads, and he should change something. So, I mean, you never should reach a level of 60, 70% or something like this. And it's the same with the open rates. People always think I need 70, 80%. I mean, if you have over 50% open rate, you're also doing something wrong. Then you just make your list bigger. That's like all these small things. Then for me, it's just I have an average and I check what is the average, what I've been doing, and just push every month just better. I think I'm only one of the, for sure, 5 agencies in the world. I make audit for my clients every week. Some people, they do it once. I do it every week and checking, okay, I'm looking now, I'm a new agency. What would I do again? Oh mate, this is dumb, this is dumb, this is dumb. Let's change it. Just push these numbers. That's it. Don't look too much outside.
So what are you most focused on for the rest of 2025?
Yeah, I think the challenge in agency business is always clients. Clients always hard. I need to say that. Oh, I mean, different humans, everybody is different. I think it's growth. That's the only challenge you have with email marketing. The business by itself is actually not too hard, to be fair. You just have some rules, but yeah. I mean, to getting some clients, that's a little bit challenging in the e-commerce space, because you're doing ads, they get email from you, they get email from me, they get people from Crow optimization, they get email from emails, we have a better product from every side. We're doing social Instagram for you, we're doing this for you, we're doing that for you. I mean, that's a little bit hard to get these clients. So right now I want to focus what is working and trying some new strategies, how to outreach to clients. So that is the next thing.
So if you could go back in time to before you started this business, what is the one biggest piece of advice that you wish you knew?
I mean, I always answer when people tell me, what would you change in life? I would say nothing, because I always did what I wanted to do. And I also think there's only one rule or 2 rules in the world, and that's start and never stop. That's it. I mean, there's no secret. There's no do this better, because if you then focus on this, then maybe this is like, if you tune a car and it makes faster, you also need to do the brakes. Driving 400 and can't brake 400 so it's, you always, I can now teach my team. It's perfect, but when I now get no clients, the best team is worthless. If I have clients and my team is shit, I don't, just do it, and you learn the process. My first client ever, like, oh shit, what did I do? It's for all of us. At one point you need to start. We don't study 5 years, so the first client of obvious will not be the best, but over time you get better and better and better. And that's the only goal. If you look back what you did last 2 months and you look back and say, shit, it's actually good, then you know you're growing. That's the point. You look back and always say, holy shit, that was shit what I did. It's good. You're growing. That's the point. That's not negative. It's positive.
If somebody watching this wanted to work with you, do you mind sharing your website, social media? I guess best ways to get in contact.
Yeah, I think it's very easy to find me. Inbox Mafia, very special name. Branding should fit to me. Yeah, just Google the name. You find the website. I find me on X. I'm very active, starting out a little bit on Instagram, YouTube also. Thank you.